of the Tugboat Annie stories for the Saturday Evening Post, I have often been asked the question, is Annie a real person? Actually, Annie took form as a symbol of the many American women who follow the sea. A cantankerous, lovable old seahorse who could outcuss, outfight, and outsmart any man on the waterfront. Now Warner Brothers want to make a picture about her. So I'd better get down to brass knuckles and give her a hail. How's about it, Annie, you old barnacle? Would you like to be a movie star?
A movie star? I'll have to take my oomph out of the mothballs.
Tugboat Annie sails again. It's Marjorie Rambeau as the beloved skipper of the good ship Narcissus. With Alan Hale as her old feuding partner, Bullwinkle. Ronald Reagan finding the same sweetheart in every port. And Jane Wyman as the cutest stowaway on all 7 seas.
Boys, who's the queen of the tugs?
Why, Annie!
Who towed Dewey into Manila Bay?
Why, Annie!
You rat-whiskered son of a seahorse! You're in a bad way. Your ship's down lower than Bullwinkle's character. What do you give me if I can float her free in 6 hours?
You can't cut me out. This is my job.
Now, shut up, Bullwinkle. What's your price?
$25,000.
Suppose you fail.
Well, if I fail, I don't get a nickel.
Well, them big liners in a hurry to make port don't slack up much for fog.
I've been listening the last 10 minutes to a vessel blattering ahead of us.
Annie, she's right on top of us!
I can always get the best of that old cow. I know too much.
Oh, holy mackerel! Cast off, I'm telling you! I'm telling you, cast off!
I know. Well, put him in the ground, 6 feet down, till you hear that coffin sound. You can weep and you can moan, but that old boy ain't never coming home. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. We can tell our tales, we can laugh and joke, ponder all day about the words he spoke. You can't run and you can't hide when death come creeping up by your side. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. Take it, Glenn. Oh. No more fussing about this, or worrying about that. Taking out the dog or letting in the cat. Eat your biscuits and gravy, you can smoke and drink. Ain't gonna matter what nobody thinks. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. Winter, summer, spring or fall, you got to go when the good Lord calls. He made us laugh until we cried, never got a chance to say goodbye. Another man done a full go round, sing it. Another man done a full go round. One more time. Another man done a full go. I lied. One more. Another man done a full go round. People shake their guitars. I'm not exactly sure why, so I thought I'd give it a try. Hello, I'm Dottie West. I sell high-end acoustic guitars, but I don't speak for my employer when I do these videos. Thank you for listening in on the digital party line here. I opened there with a song by Roy Bookbinder that I hope will have less relevance for many of us in the coming months. Also performed by, of course, Jorma Kaukonen. Hero, big H. Tugboats are back in the news this past week, so always eager to stay topical. There's a clip from 1940. It doesn't feature Marie Dressler or Wallace Beery from the original Tugboat Annie of 1933, but as a trade-off, we got to see Ronald Reagan unceremoniously pushed into the water. You rat-whiskered son of a seahorse. Aye. Spicy stuff for 1940. I'm going to look for an occasion to use that in casual conversation as soon as possible. Tugboats, yes, they're back in the news. And in a related story, so is toilet paper back in the news. A related story, perhaps. And it's times of rumors of shortages like this that make me wish that I had saved all those ridiculous CVS receipts, just in case. Moving right along. Easter's coming right up, so as you can see by the festive egg lights, and flowers, and Ducky, can you hand me the bunny? Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Valerie. And bunnies. We're going full-on thematic here. But you Catholics out there, you probably shouldn't enjoy any of this stuff too much because we are, after all, still in the ecclesiastical season of Lent, which is about self-denial and auto-flagellation. Ducky, can I hand you that? Thank you very much. Sorry to use a term like that in front of the ladies. I must express some disappointment with the online sales of my Lent calendar, where every day you open a new window and it's empty. I think it's a great idea. And if you'd like to buy one of those for next year, just let me know in the crawl here. Live and learn, live and learn. But any feast day that celebrates chocolate can't be all bad. So Halloween and Easter, you're all right. My name's Stevie Coyle, and I approve this message. Folks, we're simulcasting tonight, so welcome to both face friends and YouTubers, sheep and goats, dromedaries and bicamerals, cats and kitties, compadres y comadres. Welcome to the Monday Night Thing, webcastaways. It's Monday, March 29th. Like I say, your old pal Stevie Coyle here, hoping you're all staying safe and sane for yourselves, of course, as well as for the several non-you people that are out there in the world. Know what I mean? I think you do. Good news on the home front. Miss Valerie and I went to the vet, and we got our first round of shots. COVID and distemper, I think, for this round. But we go back for more in 3 weeks. We got the Pfizer flavor, Pfizer's on stun, Scotty. What a time machine inoculations are. I don't know about you, but we both turned into kind of keyed up second graders briefly. And even though we were very brave and we didn't cry at all, there were precisely 0 lollipops involved for either me or for Miss Valerie. And I just knew, I told her, I said, I knew this whole thing was a trick. And to add insult to injury, they put us both in a timeout for 15 minutes, even though we had done nothing bad. And I suppose if there is an upside to this whole thing, aside from being inoculated against the worst effects of a terrible disease, I suppose, I experienced no muscle soreness at the injection site. Come to think of it, maybe because there's not enough muscle there to get sore. Who knows? A big and particular welcome. Oh, there's the big doggy out there. Romeo, cool your jets. A big and particular welcome to newcomers to our studio audience, perhaps here from Brother Yusef's Pan-Atlantic Decades-Deep Fan Club. And as you may or may not know, recent software developments mean that I can invite friends and fellow pickers to join me here online. Miss Valerie and I fired up this format just before Thanksgiving. And so far we've featured Bill Kirchen, let's see if I can do this, Bill Kirchen, Teresa Taduri, Walter Strauss, Ray Bonneville, Mary Flower, Joe and Hetty Craven, Doug Adams, Michael Clem, Adam Miller, Alex DeGrassi, Yes, that Alex DeGrasser. Leftover Dreams, Daniel Levitin. Yes, that Daniel Levitin. And Jim Kimo West, Rory McNamara, and Noctambule. I think I did it right. And just so you know, just about all of those shows are archived on the YouTube channel. So those of you on YouTube right now, you're on the right place. Just Stevie Coyle Music is the place to look. And like I say, tonight's very special guest is bluesman Brother Yusef. You've probably never heard anything quite like him unless you know him and love him, and you're here because of that. Stay tuned. Please type in a hello if you don't mind identifying yourself. If you're stuck for something to say, maybe tell us where you're webbing in from. We're always looking for who wins the faraway prize in a given show. How did you hear of the show? Marketing department is always interested in hearing about how you heard about this show. We are busking tonight. Brother Yusef and I are busking. Donations are not expected, but they are always welcome. And he and I will split the proceeds. And here's the busking information right here. Oh, that's so cool. Thanks, Ducky. That's really fun. PayPals and Venmothers, here are the links. For PayPal, it's just paypal.me/StevieCoyle. For Venmothers, just MightyFineGuitars. And as always, the magic number around here is 20. With any $20 tip jar donation, you get a free CD. Magic. How do we do it? How do we do it? Volume, volume, volume. Now, if you do donate $20, please type in your mailing address so that I know where to send you your free CD. And there's, did we get a picture of the CD, Ducky? I was so busy blathering I didn't even see. There it is. This is it. An album I did a few years ago with all kinds of great stars on it. It was going to be a nice, polite little fingerstyle guitar record, turned into a whole concept album. Which is to say, it's a real album. But there's a concept and a story, and all the pieces kind of hang together in that old-fashioned way that albums used to do. I hate to brag, but some people really liked it. Barry Melton, the Fish of Country Joe and the Fish, called the album genius. But then again, tastes differ, as 38.6 of Americans prove, to my everlasting astonishment. All of which is to say, your mileage may vary. Now, if you're not able to make any sort of financial donation contribution tonight, perhaps you Facebookers would consider making a karmic donation by sharing this webcast to your own timeline or in a text message to a like-minded friend or two. That's for you Facebookers. For you YouTube tubers, you spuds, please consider clicking on the subscribe box and or ticking the notifications bell icon right next to it if you'd like to be summoned whenever I go live, which is mostly on Monday nights at 7:25 p.m. Pacific. There you are. Tonight's show is brought to you by the letters and numbers HR1 and SR1 and by Flippy the Frogman, or someone like him. I'd like to introduce our executive producer, Miss Valerie May. She's in the booth. She's at the controls. We're all in good hands. She's here to field your questions and comments and requests, to pass them along. And I think she can now monitor both the Facebook and YouTube comments crawls. Thank you, Ducky. Thank you. A hand for Miss Ducky. I'll tell you what, I'm going to play you one more, I think. How are we doing on time, Ducky? 7:44. 7:44? You know what? Let's get our guest out here. But first, you know what? Let me play you real quick here. Car would like to break your heart. She's too damn old to even start. They should put her in the crusher, I suppose. You don't want to get you one of those. She's always been as mean as she appears. Ain't done no rock and rolling in years. They should put her in a crusher, I suppose. You don't want to get you one of those. Leave her over here behind the barn where she'll be out of the way. She got chassis rot, the gearbox is shot. She's had her day. It's all over for that old heap. She needs a whole lot more than beauty sleep. If you want to get you one that goes, you don't want to get you one of those. Leave her over there behind the barn where she'll be out of the way. She's got chassis rot, the gearbox is shot. She's had her day. It's all over for that old heap. She needs a whole lot more than beauty sleep. If you want to get you one that goes, you don't want to get you one of those. You don't want to get you one of those. You don't want to get you one of those. Oh, yeah. There we are. I think Tommy Emmanuel wrote that. It might have been Mark Knopfler, because they both do it. Hard to know. Hard to know. Great little song, and it's on the way. Well, stay tuned, friends. Special guest Brother Yusef is coming up next. But first, a word from some guys who just might have been useful in busting the blockade in the Suez Canal. I guess we'll never know. Hit it, Ducky.
The Navy Frogmen go into action. Beneath enemy ships, Navy Frogmen work swiftly and secretly until... Look how real these miniature Navy Frogmen are. The Torchman, the deadly demolitions expert, and the daring obstacle scout. These miniature Navy Frogmen swim, dive, and surface by themselves, and they can be yours now. Look, here's where your free supply of high-pressure propellant goes. Ordinary baking powder will work, too. Now, here's how to get your set of 3 plastic Navy Frogmen. For each set of 3, send 1 box top from Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes and only 25 cents, or send 1 box top from Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pops and 25 cents. Use the handy order blank on the packages of Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes or Sugar Corn Pops, or mail direct to Navy Frogmen, Box 350, Battle Creek, Michigan. Hurry!
Hurry. For God's sake, hurry. Buy something sugary and send them a quarter. Some of you will probably remember an afternoon television program called Sea Hunt. Well, I was Mike Nelson from 3:30 until 4 o'clock every weekday afternoon. That was me. And now, as always, from the truly ridiculous to the truly sublime, I first heard tonight's guest on the radio one morning driving to work, and I absolutely flipped. I had heard on that station that he had played at the Freight and Salvage nearby in Berkeley, California, great venue, just the night before, and wondered if he was still in the neighborhood. So by clandestine connections and Byzantine methods of my own, I was able to contact him. I woke him up at his hotel, actually, and invited him to buzz over the hill and hosted him on my Friday noontime webcast, that very lunchtime, from Mighty Fine Guitars. Thank you for asking. That's the name of the shop. Some months later, I hosted him in the Mighty Fine Guitars concert series as well. And his name is Brother Yusef, and he plays Fattback Blues. And he's here to tell us all about that. Miss Valerie has gone to the green room to retrieve him. And here he is now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm proud as punch to introduce Brother Yusef. Has he arrived? He has indeed. We do what we can, Brother Yusef. Yes, we do. I think you're still muted there, Brother Yusef. If you can unmute.
There I am. Am I there?
There you are indeed. Very good.
There I am. Okay. I'm here. All right.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. You mentioned Sea Hunt. Sea Hunt almost got me killed. I was a little kid when that show was on, and I was amazed at how they could go underwater and breathe. So I said, one day I was taking a bath.
Oh,
yes.
no.
I was probably about maybe 4 or 5, and all I remember is my parents running in the room and grabbing me and patting me on the back, and yeah, so Sea Hunt almost killed me. So anyway, but I'm here today.
Oh my gosh. You could sue Lloyd Bridges. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes.
Speaking of, don't try this at home. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is. Oh my gosh. I hope none of the grandkids are watching right now, or I guess I hope they are, and they caught that. Yeah. Brother Yusef, would you play us one just to set the musical stage for us?
Okay, I'm going to switch my headphones because I'm monitoring myself in one, and I want to hear every goodness that you guys hear. I'm going to do a thing called I Got the Blues. I got the blues, and it feels so good. at night. When I'm feeling good, the blues that make everything alright. I've got the blues. Yes, the blues got me. One thing about the blues is gonna set my soul free. The blues when I'm up, blues when I'm down. Blues lift me right up, yeah, baby, right up off the ground. I got the blues. The blues got me. One thing about the blues is gonna set my soul free. All right, everybody, clap your hands, give me some rhythm. Blues when I'm happy, blues when I'm sad. It's the best feeling that I ever had. I got the blues. Woo! Yes, and the blues got me. One thing about the blues is gonna set my soul free. Lord have mercy. Break it on down. Well, I got the blues. Yes, and the blues got me. I got the blues. Yes, and the blues got me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing about the blues is gonna set my soul free. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, I got the blues and it feels so good. Woo! Lord have mercy. Thank you very much. I'm going to put it back up here. There.
That's
I'm
terrific.
here.
That's just terrific.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to do that anymore.
That's all right. Is that too weird to shift headphones like that?
I just wanted to make sure it sounded okay through my monitor that I'm level. And then I say, I'm good.
Yeah, I think so.
Now.
You know, we can
Okay.
probably use a little more level from you if you can send just a little bit more. And if you can't, no worries. It's okay, but it would be even better with a little bit more.
I've gone to 11.
All right, man. Good.
Yeah.
Got to ask you about now. We talked briefly about the Disneyland connection some time ago.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Disneyland connection.
Back in the winter of 2001, a long time ago, so hard to believe, I got a call from the Disney folks, and I kind of blew it off because I get a lot of calls from people. I'm not even sure it's for real or not, but my ex-wife, to her credit, she called back, and they talked about me performing at Downtown Disney, and I said, okay, sure. So I went down there and played, and they said we can sell CDs, and I sold a whole lot of CDs, and I said, okay, I'll come back if you want me to, and they wanted me to, and I was there for 15 years. Just basically playing the Disneyland Resort. I wasn't inside the park, so we were basically there's like 5 different acts throughout Downtown Disney. And it was like we were busking. We were selling our product. They paid us, sometimes they paid us, sometimes they didn't. You know, to sign a contract with a zero is kind of weird, but we were making enough at the time on CD sales that we didn't care, but that didn't last very long. But anyway, that was my claim to fame, and that's why the world knows about me, because I played at the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim.
Yeah, gotcha. And before that and after that, what were the gigs like?
Well, before that, I was just doing, they found me performing, I believe, at the swap meet, possibly. Somebody came by and put their card in my bucket instead of money, Disney.
Yeah,
And,
of course. Oh.
And I just said, anyway, but they called. But so swap meets, coffee houses, wherever, even in the street, because I'm down here in Pasadena, even played in Old Town Pasadena, just kind of wherever. After that, it was more of the same up until maybe about I started to get a few more gigs because people started seeing me. But what changed a lot for me was when someone from the swing dance community, you've heard of ballroom dances, and now you have the swing dance community. Someone bought my CD, took my version of Johnny Be Good, and danced and built a routine around my version of Johnny Be Good, and took it all around the whole world, to a couple, dancing to that one song. And that put my name square in the world of social dancing. So now I have like the Disney thing, and then I'm starting to go around the country and the world doing swing and blues dance events, which was, you know, so that was, it's like, okay, so then not just, everything just got bigger. So, and to tell you how interesting it got, for the last 5 or 6 years, let's just say I've been to South Korea 6 times because South Korea has the biggest swing dance community in the world.
Holy
And
smokes.
Yeah, and every year they call me back. Of course, they try to call me back, but I say, you know, that virus is in China. You're going to get it next. No.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, right, huh?
But so you know, and my last dance gig was in Vienna, Austria, in December of 2019. So it's just really weird. So you have the Disney thing, and then you have the dance world, and which makes me a kind of more of an international. I go to YouTube and I see a dance group in Russia dancing to one of my songs.
Ah, that's
And that's just
fantastic.
like- so, you know, so from Disney to that to, you know, playing the freight and meeting you and just everything else that happened.
Right,
So
right.
so-
Do you know that I found a Johnny Be Good video and posted it today just to you know, let folks know what they were in for tonight. And you were doing a festival in Canada. Did you do some festival stuff as well?
Yeah. Now that came about from a different route. I don't think that had a Disney connection at all. I don't think it did. I have a lady named Barbara Collin who is also like a part-time agent. In other words, I'm on her roster. So I guess in Canada, in Calgary, Epcor Center had got a hold of me. They called and they put me in as part of their winter concert series. So from them, Saskatoon Blues Festival got a hold of me, and then Swift Current had a festival, and they got a hold of me. So I did 3 venues in Canada in February. When it was
Oh, I
minus
know.
40.
And that's something. That's a whole. And one of them, I think you said on the video, was 40 below outside while you were playing there.
I couldn't
Yikes!
figure out why the guy was plugging his. I said, "Why are you plugging your car up?" Because of all freeze.
Pasadena. Who would think? I know it. You know, almost anywhere else. You know. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that may have been through a different route, and just because Barbara had worked with me, and she didn't know me from Disney either. So I had people who knew me, and that came through that. And what's cool about Disney, but there's a weird connection. I met a guy downtown Disney who said he's from Calgary. I said, "Oh, I'm going to be there in a couple of months." And then I'm in the line signing CDs. It's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" You know. So a guy I saw at Disney came to the show in Alberta and saw me there. So it's been a very fun made rock star status, but you know, who wants the headaches? Who needs the headaches, right?
Exactly right. That's what I've always said. Exactly right.
I don't TMZ camping outside my door and looking in my
Nah.
trash can. I don't want them to find out what I've been doing. So.
No. Your business is your business. Brother Yusef, would you play us another one?
All right, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one now. This one, of course, I was doing pretty well musically until March. I had one last gig. The pandemic was like this, and they were talking about shutdown, and I had this gig that was a really fat, lucrative paying gig right here in California. I can't remember where it was, down in Long Beach. And it's like, the dates are coming. The gig happened. 2 days later, pandemic, everything shut down. All my gigs. It's almost as if Thanos did like that, and all my gigs just went.
Yeah. Right.
So I was so upset behind this, and I thought, Corona, God, I hate you. I wish you would just go away, leave me alone. And I felt like, I'm fussing at a jilted lover who's just like bothering me and stalking me. So I wrote this song called Corona Blues.
Right then.
tune up first. Corona, why you messing with me? Corona, why you messing with me? You try to take my life. Can't you just let me be? Corona, you a bad, evil one. Oh, Corona, you a bad and oh, you a evil one. Got me running and hiding. I can't even go out and have my fun. No. Well, Corona, don't you see what you're doing to me? Corona, oh, don't you see what you're doing to me? You got me on lockdown. I just want to go out and be free. No, Lord have mercy. What you doing to me? Come on. So bad. What have I done to you? I'm sad and depressed, Lord. That's why I'm sitting here always feeling blue. Corona, I'll be so glad when you go home. Yeah, Corona, I'll be so glad when you are gone. Please go away, Corona, 'cause I don't love you no kind of way. Corona.
Oh. Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth?
That is exactly how I felt. I was like, it's like, oh, I got to put on a mask to hide from you because you might get me. And
yeah, a bunch of lepers out there.
Yeah, I got to be careful where I go because she might be, or she might not even be she, but whatever, Corona's lurking to get me. And that's how I felt, and that's when I wrote this piece. And it's like,
That's we were all singing along with you. That's that's something everybody can sing nowadays. Good heavens! You are getting so many nice comments here on YouTube and Facebook. I just want to let you know.
Oh,
Lots and lots and lots. And
good.
I tell you what. Now you mentioned Johnny Be Good at one point. Is that on your playlist tonight? We've had a request for that. I don't know if you're on got your request hat out or you got a set list ready to go or what.
I have a list. I have a list, but whatever. I mean, I can. Now I play it a bit different, so it might be a little bit different than what people may have heard.
Oh yeah.
The video you played is the way I used to play it, which is the way they did it during the dance thing. But once I was in Korea, and I was playing it, and this, you know, I'm a typical guy. I had a row of pretty young ladies just all around me, and they weren't doing their dance routines. They were free dancing. So I just started breaking the Johnny Be Good, and they were just going all into it, and I just kind of got into it too, and we all just kind of lost it. And I came up with a new version that involved call and response. It was really exciting when I did that. So this is the South Korean version.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Brother Yusef.
Via Busan, Korea, yeah. And just so we're clear, I will not be in tune so that I'm consistent. Johnny Be Good. He never learned to read and write too well. He can play that guitar like a ring in a bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 go. Come on, Johnny, you know you better be good, huh? Mama said, boy, you gonna be a man. You gonna be the leader of the Baptist blues band. The people, they gonna come from miles around. You'll sing your blues when the sun goes down. Your name gonna be up in the lights saying, Johnny Be Good tonight. Come on, everybody. Everybody. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Come on. Ooh, Johnny, you know you good. One more time. Oh, sorry about that. I said, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 go. Woo-hoo. Come on, Johnny, go, Johnny, be good. Go, Johnny.
Oh yeah. We had a couple of notes there. I'm dancing in my kitchen. This is so
Yes,
fun.
yes,
This is the best. This is
yes.
great. So people are digging this a ton.
That's why I say the blues is not sad, everybody.
Yeah,
It was
well,
created by.
That's right, just like you told us in the first one there. You know, I don't think I'm the only guitar nerd here, but even if I am, could you tell us a little bit about your tuning and your guitars and your setup and all that kind of stuff?
I'm using a Taylor Big Baby, as you can see on the thing right there, Taylor.
There it is.
And that's basically it. I have a magnetic DiMarzio sound hole pickup. I've been using these for years. And people say, oh yeah, try this one or this one. And I use that one for the most part. And that's pretty much it. Just a simple Taylor guitar. I put two pick guards because I saw Richie Havens and I got excited because he's my favorite. So I wanted to copy.
No better reason. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. I met him and saw him. I was like, ah. So yeah, and that's my basic rig. You know, I use a slide. I don't consider myself a slide player per se. You know, I'm not doing I can, but my thing with the slide is more of an accent. It's more for effect, but you know. So, but I use a slide. I use a copper connector.
Copper connector. There it is. Right.
Hardware store. 45 cents each. Grab a handful, put them in the bag, and come home.
DIY. Right.
They're all over the house. You know.
And what about strings and gauges and all that kind of stuff and tunings?
I use I've been changed around over the years. I use a light gauge, or extra light, I guess. 11, 50, 52. So 11 and 52. 11, 15, 22, 32, 42, 52.
Right, gotcha.
That's what I use. And my tuning is, I'm not even sure if I'm in a real tuning or not, because I'm by myself, so who cares? But I'm supposed to be tuning open C sharp. When I'm open.
Right. But am I hearing something unusual about your fifth string there? Have you got...
Yeah. So this is the chord. Full chord. So this one's tuned, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't know the difference between all of them, but I believe this is tuned to the 1, to the 5. So it's almost like this top two are standard. So,
Yeah, I get you. Cool.
Like I say, I am the most untrained musician you'll find. You know, I just kind of, I learned how to play a lot of stuff. I learned how to play in standard tuning. I had a guy try to teach me, he was teaching me theory, and it drove me out. I'm so impatient. It's like, this theory stuff is, no, leave me alone. Don't do it. Don't bother me with that. And I just, because I grew up, I'm a child of the 70s, so I went to school during the 70s before they had a term for things like dyslexic. They just put me in remedial classes and didn't teach me. So my whole life is a workaround. So everything that I do is things that I just have to, I kind of tinker and figure out before I could do it. All my recordings I did myself because I got tired of paying some guy to not give me what I wanted.
Yeah.
So I sat on and bought stuff and learned, not because of the manuals, like, ugh, I can read, but it becomes, you know. So I just listen, figure out, maybe, and this is before YouTube. What is that, right? Before all that stuff. I would ask questions. I would go to Guitar Center. This is when people at Guitar Center knew stuff. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
That was the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I would ask questions, and that was pretty much it. And I didn't start playing it until I was 19, like a year after high school. 1982 was the first time I started playing guitar. So, you know, I wanted to learn how to play guitar when I saw the Jackson 5 on Ed Sullivan. And I wasn't so impressed with little Michael Jackson because he was just another kid to me. It's like, big deal. Tito and Jermaine was, I thought, the coolest things ever because they had the big naturals and they played the electric guitars and they had the cool outfits. And that, I said, oh man, I want to learn how to play electric guitar. So, because I said, what is that? That's an electric guitar. I didn't know much about bass, but they both look cool. So I told my parents, I want to learn how to play electric guitar. And my parents, they said, all right, fine. But you know what? And they said what most parents say, learn piano first.
Oh, yeah, I know. Right.
And I hated piano. Only reason I went to piano lessons is because by the time I went, I was maybe 11, and my piano teacher, she was 18 or 19, so that's why I went to piano lessons.
Whatever, man.
But that didn't last very long, and then I just said, scrap it. And I went through high school. I became a graphic artist, photographer, and all that kind of stuff. And then I met a friend of mine. I met this one cat in my senior year. He was really heavily into music. He loved Stevie, and he turned me on to Bob Marley and Coltrane, and because of what he did, and he had an old beat up piano in his garage, and he would jam, and I saw it as an opportunity. So I had my own job at that age. I was 18 or 19, and I bought a guitar, and kaboom, and here we are, 40 years ago.
How about that? Doesn't that flip you out to be able to say that and remember it and everything?
Yeah,
I know.
You know, and this friend of mine, we lost him about a couple years ago, which is really hard. How do you lose your best friend?
Oh man.
You know, especially when you remember. But I just still, everything that I do, you know, is always a tribute to what he did for me during that time of our lives. So
Yeah, gotcha.
it was really special. He took me to see the Wailers a year after Bob Marley died. It was the actual Wailers, but it wasn't. You know, unfortunately, Bob Marley wasn't there. But so that was kind of our summer after high school. We went to every concert. And I have another funny story about him I could tell you later. It's, you know, we just...
Well, we're going to have you back sometime later on in the year. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, that's kind of my musical journey. So here I am. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, on the gear front, we cover just about anything. We somebody said, "Have you got a stomp box going too? What's the percussion happening?"
Okay. Well, here's the deal. When I perform live, I put a tambourine around my ankle and I just stomp on whatever surface I have, I work with. I don't really have anything external that I use. When I record or when I'm doing something like this, I basically have a piece of board on the floor with a tambourine taped to it and a microphone over it. So
there it is.
I'm getting that.
There it is.
That's how I record my stuff, and that's how when I perform live, I don't bring the board with me. Whatever surface I have. So if I'm playing on a stage that has a lot of give, it sounds great. If I'm playing on someone's front lawn, it's just going to be tambourine and a hole in the grass, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
My whole thing with my music is work with what you have. You know,
Gotcha.
If I show up to a town and they didn't read my writer and they didn't give me the amp I wanted, and it's an amp, you know what? That's the show. Let's plug it in. And oh, look what we got. I don't know. Let's go. And everyone, it seems to work. So I just work. I believe in just working with what I have. And
Right.
I don't really want to get into too many. You know, I don't get too caught up in electronics and gizmos and all that stuff like that. The most I may do is use chorus, a lot of times reverb and tremolo.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it, you know. So
Yeah, I get you.
I'm a snooty purist. Yes, I am.
And proud of it, clearly. And why not? Why wouldn't you be? Speaking of the rider, did you find everything in the green room that was on your rider before we brought you out here?
Yeah, everything was there. I got my ginger tea.
All right. Okay. Good.
Cup. And the same cup I got in my cabinet. Imagine that.
That's wow. see we to the letter. The story goes that that's the reason that who was it, Led Zeppelin insisted that all the green M&Ms be taken out or whatever it was, just so that they knew somebody read the rider.
It was Van Halen.
Oh, what's that? Yeah.
Take the brown M&Ms out. If they didn't have the brown M&Ms out, someone did. You're right. And
it's because of that.
I've showed up at many gigs and it's like they didn't read nothing.
They just knew I was going to be here, and there's
right, pretty much. Okay, everybody, Brother Yusef, I'm like, where's the amp? Where's the mic? Where's the what?
Oh, I know.
The music just happens, you know.
Astonishing, isn't it? Yeah. Van Halen, Arcadia band, weren't they just right next door to you there in Arcadia?
Eddie Van Halen and probably his brother, they went to Pasadena High School, which is the high school I went to. We found a yearbook from '74, I believe it was, and there he was. And everybody was talking about Van Halen. I never got into Van Halen at the time. Unfortunately, I went to school during a time where, even though it was the '70s and everything's supposed to be free and open, there was still like this weird segregation thing going on.
Oh, geez, right.
So if you're black, you're only supposed to listen to R&B, funk, and soul. And if you're white, you listen to rock. And the problem is that even though we thought we eradicated racism, it was there, but it was a subtle, weird kind of thing. So the guys that listened to Van Halen were those guys that would show up to the high school and probably write white power on the thing. They would do that every weekend. They had to clear the group. So there was that weird divide. Not that those guys were that way, because those guys were probably cool. But it's just the way the culture is. I envy the kids now, because now everything's everything. You know, you have rock people mixing with hip hop and blah 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 and do and it's just like it's music.
It's astonishing, isn't it? Yeah. You know, when I think back, for 40 years, Well, even when I was coming up, I can't imagine, I dig it now, but I can't imagine loving the stuff that my parents loved, 40 years before me. But now a lot of my guitar students and whatnot are way into everything. Just everything. It's wide open, It's when I was coming up, it was rock and folk, and you were kind of done, in my world.
Something changed in the 70s where music just started to broaden a little bit, and in the 80s, even though it's not my favorite period of music, but 80s worked. That's when stuff started to kind of a little bit, and it became cool to like everything. And when Quincy Jones, when they did "We Are the World," they brought everybody.
They did that.
So
that was
everybody could see everybody. So people who were into Rick James could check out Bob Dylan.
How about
whether
that?
They like it or not, whether they like it, at least they know it.
That's right.
And then, so now I think we're in a better place and a not so better place, because now we're in the era of the non-musician musician. But that's okay, It's
That's
okay
a longer
because-
discussion as well that we will have next time we have you on. We're making a list of the things to pick up on and go with.
Yeah.
What else you got going for us musically today?
Okay. I had the opportunity of doing the Blues Cruise, which was a thrill, because I got to meet some of my heroes. And one of my heroes is Booker T. of the
Oh,
Bee
yeah.
Gees. I met Booker T, and Green Onions is like my most favorite song in life. It's like the coolest song that ever existed in the world of history of music, in my opinion. So I did my version, since I play a style of blues called Fattback blues, which is kind of like this really edgy, hardcore, funkified blues that's, on an acoustic guitar. I call this one, and if you know what Fattback is, in Southern cooking, Fattback is that salt pork they put in the food to give it that flavor. So this is called Green Onions Smothered in Fattback.
all right then. Very salty. Ah, love it.
Yeah, it's funny. I meet my heroes and I go fangirl.
I know. Isn't that something?
And it's like, and I did this with. I said, there he is. And I went. I said, Big Eyes, are you Booker T? And he said, he did like this. His face kind of said, what? And it was like I had to. Okay, no, man up. Excuse me, are you Booker T? I had to kind of. And I told him, I said, man, your music is. And he was very gracious, and he gave me, he shook my hand, and that was a lot. Oh, I'll never watch it again. And then the cool thing about the Blues Cruise is we get to see everybody because they stagger it pretty well, and each artist plays every other day. So I went to go see the show. He did a Stax review. Oh my God, it was just so amazing. And the hand that he played in Stax is just utterly amazing. He played Green Onions, and just thinking about it right now, a tear went down my eye because the hand that played the record that I liked.
Yeah, how about that?
I was just like, I was good.
The real deal. He played at Hardly Strictly Bluegrass a couple of years ago, and the place was absolutely packed to the rafters. Well, if there were rafters. Yeah. A mile back, just wall-to-wall folks. Just, and of course the place went crazy for that. But the rest of the set was fantastic as well.
Yeah,
that was just
the band is tight. His son is playing guitar, so I guess his son's doing the Steve Cropper stuff.
That's right.
It was amazing, and that cruise was really a lot of fun because Los Lobos was on the cruise.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
Taj Mahal was on the cruise.
Oh my gosh.
Ruthie Foster was on the cruise, and and Brother Yusef was on the cruise.
Yeah, how about that? Right, you're in great company.
I did my first day of the cruise. I was nervous, and they put me in the lounge. They had me because who am I, right? I'm not gonna play the big stage. So I played the lounge, and that means everybody's walking by. I mean, over the place, the area was just I was playing, not to be bragging, but the area was just solid. 2 days later, I played in the bigger room. It was just all in the hall because I guess word got around.
Yeah, I've no doubt.
I was a celebrity for the next 4 days, and after I got off the boat, I was just me again.
Yeah, that's right. You mean I'm just me again? What the hell?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I tell you what, I just about I hit the ceiling of my car, hit the roof of my car when I heard your music on the radio, the day after you had played at the Freight, and I just kind of stepped on the accelerator just so I could get to a phone quickly and make a call and see if I could get in touch with you. And you were so gracious. I woke you up at in the middle of a sound sleep and said, "Can you be here in an hour?" And you just said, "Yeah, I'll be there. I couldn't believe it. I was so pleased. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you invited me, and I'm glad I decided to do it because I was like, who is this guy?
Exactly. Sure. You're what, and you heard what, and you were so sleepy, and you said yes anyway. I thought, wow, I hope he's gonna, once he wakes up, I hope he's still into this. And you showed up, and we had a great time. It was just terrific.
I so cannot wait to get back to doing this again and getting back to a regular schedule. I'm out. Not that I traveled a lot, and actually I'm not crazy about flying on airplanes as it is, but I like being in different places, and I miss that so much.
Yeah,
I can't wait till I can get back to being on the road again. And not that I did a lot on my own. Like when I do dances, when you saw me, that was just me doing it my own. That was the first time I actually called up places and said, "Hey, I'm gonna be in your town. Book me." And that's how the last time I was in Berkeley, I can't remember the name of the club. It was a small venue. 100-room spot. I can't remember the name of the spot.
The back room, maybe, or
I think it was that.
Could be.
And anyway, that was really good. That was unfortunately the last time I was, and then everything fell apart in the world. So, but that was the first time because what I did was I was trying to see if I can do a tour. So I had a place in Seattle. So I played in Seattle. I went to Portland, played a place up there, and another friend of mine had a place. So I went to his place up in Olympia, and then I flew down to where you are, the Bay Area, and I did. So it's like, okay, I'm trying to teach myself how to tour.
Yeah.
How to do this, and I did that a couple times. I said, okay, now we're gonna branch out further. Oh, never mind. Okay.
I know, doggone it. Well, with any luck, you can pick it up close to where you left it and carry on. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do because it was hard to take time off. I started doing a few online performances. but that wore off. The novelty of that kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
naturally, the depression kicks in. So you're like, you know, I'm trying to pull myself out of that and get ready to. And I'm already starting getting calls, and I'm like, not yet. You guys are crazy.
Yeah. Maybe wait just a little bit longer. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Let me at least get my vaccine, all right? And then
Yeah,
maybe I'll
yeah.
consider. You know. So, but anyway, it'll be cool.
You know, Ducky, would you run that back in there for just a second? Thank you so much. I just wanted to show the folks here that here are the PayPal and Venmo links for, we're busking tonight. Brother Yusef and I will be splitting the take, as they say. And so, you know, if you can, that'd be great. If you can't, no worries. And just for so many of us, though, you really do need the karma more than you need the cash. So just with that in mind, just do the right thing. We'll all be square. Thank you very much. Have you got one more for us, Brother Yusef?
Yeah, I'm going to go and do this. This is the title cut of my latest release called Juke Joint Jam. For those of you who know what a juke joint is, back in the South, in the old days, or the good old bad old days when it was really bad, African Americans, because of segregation and because of just basically trying to deal with existing as a black individual in the South, you just need a place to get away where white folks can't be around you, because it causes a lot of problems for you, not because they do, but because the system is created to where you can't even enjoy music together. So the juke joints were places where black folks can go in the woods and just go and do their thing and be rowdy and play music and drink and womanize, or is there a word for manize? I don't know.
Manize, I guess. Sure, why not?
Whatever you go, or whatever you want to do, you can do it over there. And the juke joint was just that place where we, as a people, alongside with the church, because it's the same thing. Gospel music and blues is Saturday night, Sunday morning, same thing. Sunday morning, you have to go to Sunday morning to fix what you did Saturday night. But basically, it was a place where black folks can kind of let it just debrief. You know, Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday night, I can just deal with all this. So Monday morning, I can get up and play this game again. So I wrote a song called Juke Joint Jam. So
excellent.
Body's moving. Yes, like you just don't care. Oh, laughter's all around me as the blues fills the air. Yes, it's just another Saturday night, and I'm feeling all right at the juke joint jam tonight. A hot night in the backwoods, moonshine flowing all around. Dirt floor pounding rhythm, shaking roots so deep in the ground. Yes, it's just another Saturday night, yeah. And I'm feeling all right at the juke joint jam tonight. Moving, grooving, and feeling so good. Sweet rhythms baptize my soul. Oh, love and pain, that's my game. Oh, that's the only life that I know. It's just another Saturday night, yeah. And I'm feeling all right at the juke joint jam tonight. Just another Saturday night. I'm feeling all right at the juke joint jam tonight. Oh, woo.
And the crowd goes wild.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
There we go.
like
Brother
that.
Yusef, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Can we get you back before the end of the year?
Yeah, I've got nothing else to do, you know.
So far, this is kind of what it is for right now.
Exactly, yes. But I really do appreciate this. I appreciate everything you've done for me, you know, having me on the show and then hosting me that one time and then this. So I really do appreciate it.
Oh man, I'm so pleased that we our paths crossed and you're so gracious with your and so giving with your gifts.
Thank you. Yes.
You bet. A lot of folks here are applauding at their homes. They're sitting down exhausted from dancing, sweat pouring off them. I have no doubt.
Yes, I love the sweaty pheromones and I love.
Yeah. That's a great band name, the Sweaty Pheromones. Dibs.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I got dibs. Okay. Great to see you. Thank you, Brother Yusef.
All right. Thanks a lot.
See you down the road.
All right.
Well, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Brother Yusef, Y-U-S-E-F. You can look him up online. Get ready to book him because he's going to be out on the road again, touring, looking for gigs like we all are. And man, just a lovely evening with this guy. I can tell you, after having hosted him myself at Mighty Fine Guitars a year or two ago. Brother Yusef, thank you so much. Next week, my guest is the legendary, the iconic Bill Kirchen, the lead guitarist of late of Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen. He was actually our very first Monday Night Thing guest, those 5 months ago, and callow lad that I was at the time. I had not pressed the right buttons, and the audio was not so very good at all. But gracious gent that he is, and he graciously assented to come back on, and we'll see next week the same bat time and on the same bat channel for Bill Kirchen, if we can, and we're going to see if we can replicate that show from November, word for word and note for note. Future guests after Bill Kirchen include Tom Noddy, the Bubble Man. Yes, that's right. Roy Zimmerman, the heir apparent to Tom Lehrer's musico-satirico politico throne, and ace fingerstylers Mark Lemaire, Eric Lugosh, and Michael Chapdelaine. And now, thank you so much for signing in, folks. This is great. Both on Facebook and on YouTube. There were no fisticuffs tonight. That's great. Mods and rockers can get along together. And now we'll sign off with a charmingly retro Goodnight video from 1980, which, when you do the algebra, as we were saying earlier, was 41 years ago. Tick, tick, tick. Thank you, Brother Yusef. Thank you, Flippy Frogman, or someone like him. Thank you, Sammy Spear and his orchestra. Thank you, the June Taylor Dancers. Mostly huge thanks to executive producer, my own dear Miss Valerie May. Good night, America, and good afternoon tomorrow, Australia.
if you should meet her, sweet senorita, romance with a guitar. And when you find her, the strings will bind her. Make love with a guitar, always the right time, daylight or night time. Ah, she'll not withstand it, and as I planned it, she'll say, I love you. On my guitar, I strike a chord like this, it always brings a kiss. I never miss. Speaking of love, you can go very far, no matter who you are, if you play a guitar, if you play a guitar. I always get a kiss, I never miss. You can go very far, no matter who you are, if you play a guitar. Make love with a guitar, always the right time, daylight or night time. Oh, she'll not withstand it, and as I planned it, she'll say,